This week on Take It Outside.
Like if you'll go and just watch a turkey scratch, it's like, oops, sorry. Got the turkey in too much, but the push leaves this way.
Too much. If you're frying them, what's your batter?
Put them in beer for 15 minutes.
Okay.
No egg wash, no nothing like that.
What kind of beer?
I normally use Busch Light.
Okay.
The crappier beer, the better. I found out.
Lukewarm.
Yeah, you got to have it cold.
Okay.
Got to be cold.
He pops up, one-handed, reaches out, boom, and just smokes his turkey.
There was like this 8-foot Christmas tree between us.
This podcast was brought to you by Outsider. Check us out at www.outsider.com. Outsider is an outdoor lifestyle brand owned and operated by me, retired Navy SEAL Sam Mackey, and my dear friend and former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler. At Outsider, we encourage everyone to get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer. Head over to outsider.com to check out our unique patent-pending drinkware. Outsider's drinkware can be customized with your personal or business logo. Go to outsider.com, upload your logo, and we will send you visual proofs and great wholesale pricing. And don't forget, get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer. Welcome back to the Take It Outside podcast, where we talk about all things outdoors and just getting outside where life happens. I'm your host, Sam Mackey, former Navy SEAL, and I'm joined by my co-host, Smoking Jay Cutler.
You threw in the former Navy SEAL.
I did.
That's the first time you've done that.
I know, and
I like it.
I was really hesitant. I told myself I wasn't going to read it before I read it, but then I started reading, and I can't read well enough to stop and pick up somewhere else. So that's what I ended up with.
I like it.
Our next guests are turkey hunting connoisseurs that hail from the great state of Mississippi, one of the only words I know how to spell.
Spell it.
My SSISSIPPI. And are the owners and founders of Spring Legion. Please welcome Chris and Hunter Farrior. Appreciate you guys.
Chase and Hunter.
Chase,
yeah.
Chase,
I get Chris
my
a
bad.
lot, actually.
All right.
He said he can't read.
No, we're good.
I have Chase written down.
Yeah, I get Chris all the time. All good.
But yeah, thank y'all for having us.
Absolutely. So whereabouts in Mississippi are you guys from?
Raymond, Mississippi, or more accurately, Learned, Mississippi is spelled learn. So it's not his fault because we've gone over the Farrior misspelling, and now we've got the Chris deal, and now Learned is spelled learned, but it's pronounced Learned, Mississippi.
Sounds about right for Mississippi.
Yeah, exactly. We're really on par so far.
Right. Population about 83.
Maybe I'm from Mississippi.
It would not shock me.
You'd fit in all right, man.
So,
So how'd you guys both get into turkey hunting, and what made you fall in love with it?
I think it's in our DNA more than anything. Honestly, our dad was a turkey hunter, and born and raised doing it every spring. I can recall several mornings where he'd I'd let me tag along. Age of couldn't be much older than 4, maybe, before I could take a gun or anything. I'd just tag along with him, and a lot of times I feel like I would be just left in the truck while he kind of went off and did his own thing, come back, and either with or without a turkey in hand most times. And it was just kind of normal. It was just way of life, so to speak. And then as I got older and he came along, he got to go hunting with him a little more, and I got to branch out on my own and figure out the woods by myself, and kind of really appreciated and fell in love with the difficulty in doing this. It's a fairly tough task in respect to other things in the outdoors, and it's a very mental game. It's very personal, relationship you almost build with the animal, and they can outwit you, outsmart you, left, right, front, and back, and it's easy to get your fix just by being out there too.
Mm-hmm. What's the age difference between you guys?
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
I'm 32.
I just turned 29.
That's right.
wow.
So,
Babies.
I guess.
How old were you when you killed your first turkey?
7
Really?
for both of us. Yeah.
Anyone, like, I know you were 7, but when you're 7, you say you're 7.5.
I was
who got it younger?
right at 7.5. I'd say you were about 7 and 5/8.
You're September, I'm November, so I was a little younger, I guess.
Make us do math.
He knew it. You just let him get through it.
Had to
7.
beat him
Was it
something.
410 at 20?
I had a 410,
Okay.
Mine was a 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
and I still have
We
a
had-
410 actually.
Right.
Is it a single shot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I killed my first tom last spring at Jay's place, and I'm about to go out, and he hands me a gun. He's like, "You can use this one." I mean, the thing's about as long as my arm, right? And at first, I thought it was a joke.
Little
Then-
410, single shot.
Just kind of.
yeah.
Has a little red dot on it. That thing's a little.
He's like, "It's good out to 50
bastard.
yards."
Pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good out to 50 yards. Just turned around and walked away. I'm like, he's not kidding. And took it out there, and I shot a turkey right at 50 yards.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, it's
Blew my mind.
Well, that tungsten stuff is.
It is.
That's changed turkey
It
hunting
really
a little
has.
bit.
I
Yep.
agree. I picked up a 410 season or two ago, probably,
Yeah.
and I hadn't killed one with it, but I carry it all the time whenever I'm filming for him or whatever it may
Yeah.
be. So
I killed two last year with them, and my boys have killed with them. I mean, I find it hard to go back to my 12. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't need to get beat up by that damn thing
this.
anymore.
Yeah, this
Right.
was my first year kind of going to. I think they call them sub gauges. I guess the sub under 12 410s. You got a 28 gauge.
I got a
right?
28
I don't
gauge
think
this
he's
last
taken
year.
it yet,
Yeah.
but I'm very superstitious about stuff. Like I had like the gun I've always had, an Remington 870. It's just like, I mean, it's very long, very big, very heavy.
Uh-huh.
Knock you down too, and I shoot like 3.5 inch.
Yeah.
I want as much as I can get.
Yeah.
You know,
Give yourself the best chance.
exactly. And then this year, my wife actually she toted a 20 gauge that we had when we were younger, and for some reason or another, I either didn't have my shells or something. I was like, I'm gonna take this out with last time I shot it, I might have been 9 years old or
Sure.
so. And did I take that thing? I can't see myself going back now. I'm like, I'm ruined now.
I don't know.
It's nice.
They're really nice.
So you said you're superstitious. Do you have any? What's your? I say your getting ready or superstitions that you have.
I mean, there's a lot of things I don't do until March 14th, with Mississippi season opens on the 15th. But we were just talking on the way up here. People were making plans for the 15th and stuff we've done every year. But I'm like, I can't do that because, the evening of the 14th is allocated for when I go through and refill, DEET and stuff like that in my vest and sew up holes and stuff in my, turkey get up and whatnot and lay it out and everything. But there's several things I keep with me that will always kind of go with me, like just hats that I have from my granddad that I found that some way or form provided a little luck in my head that I'm not going back. That's going with me the rest of my life, But there's
Are there a lot
several
of turkeys
things.
in Mississippi?
How many people listen to this? Not many at all.
I know. Yeah.
No, there's a good.
I've never hunted Mississippi.
It's I enjoy hunting Mississippi. It's my favorite place to hunt, but it's home.
Sure.
But there's a lot of turkey hunters in Mississippi. That's
Yeah.
kind of the catch there.
What type of turkeys are down there?
Easterns,
Easterns.
hard, really mean Easterns. From there's a difference in like swampy Easterns down there,
Sure.
and then like. Cause I get to travel and hunt turkeys everywhere, and I appreciate both, but a Michigan Eastern and a South Mississippi Eastern are two different beasts right there. But
Yeah.
in respect, really cool, to hunt. But either way,
What's different about them when hunting them in the marsh or the swamp?
they're just
there's mean.
just
They'll hurt your feelings.
They'll break you down
Every
a
which-
lot.
yeah.
Because the water hangs up a lot, and
Yeah.
they know that area way better than you do.
So have all these? I mean, all these turkey hunters. They've been called out a lot. They're smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes it different. A turkey is a turkey is a turkey.
Yeah.
And that turkey isn't born smarter than ones in other places. It's
Sure.
just that dude gets hunted left, right.
Yeah.
From the time it hatches,
Sure.
it's got somebody trying to kill it.
Yeah.
So
My
they got your
far-
playbook.
My farm in Kentucky, my turkeys they're retarded.
Just the way I like.
I'm about to say I'm not partial to them. I'll take those.
I like the blind ones too.
Right.
I would love those.
You just maybe just make a call. It doesn't even have to be a good call, and they just kind of cruise in.
He says that, but I went out there and I paid the man. And
Well, because you were with Luke, my farm manager, and like they decided to do some dumb stuff instead of just
We got it done.
taking the easy way.
And
Right.
so we're turkey hunting all morning. Really long story short, there's a turkey hung out way out in the middle of the field, and there's these little ditches, irrigation ditches. And so we just crawl through them all, and we have to go back and forth to get out in the field, right? And we're zigzagging these ditches, and finally get close enough, about 50 yards. And I let them have it. We get back, and Jay's sitting there eating breakfast. Sam was cooking us breakfast, and Luke, his farm manager, goes, there's always turkeys around 10 o'clock at the food plot right up here. And Jay goes, I'll go there when I'm done eating. Eats. I think he's wearing flip-flops and a backwards ball cap, just like this, T-shirt, and comes back 20 minutes later with one over his shoulder.
No kidding.
You got it, man.
You got to be fit for it. I just paid the man.
We started reaping them with the fan and stuff, and I don't think anyone's done it on my farm before. So they see those feathers,
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm shooting them from me to you guys,
Right.
I mean, they're attacking,
Yeah.
and it's wild.
It's I don't use decoys, and a lot of folks think like, oh, you don't use decoys. I'm like,
Oh, you don't use decoys at all?
Uh-uh.
Really? So
Never-
you guys are just
never
running and gunning?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And the terrain is different. That's probably one of the biggest difference in hunting, up north, or even Tennessee to me is very north compared to a lot of places.
Yeah.
I know it's still in the south, but the ag country, the fields and stuff, we just don't have them down there. So there's not many places you can see further than 30 yards ish.
Oh, so you guys are hunting just woods?
Right.
Yeah, just
Mainly.
nothing but
Thick
woods,
stuff.
and, thickets too.
Okay.
And that's kind of an attribute that probably makes it a little more addicting, is that turkey can be right there and gobble and gobble and gobble and drum and spit. You can hear his feathers dragging around, and you still can't see him, and it's just consumes you because you're like, what in the, how?
Well,
This
they're
is
probably alert
defying-
because they can't see very far either. So
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, and that's why we don't use decoys. It would just satisfy. They can get right there and see the decoy, and that don't mean we can see that.
Sure.
See the turkey. So
We got to kind of make them come look for us a little harder.
Right.
And whenever they do bend around, they're in shotgun range.
Yeah,
most
so
of the
if
time.
you guys go out in the morning, nothing's gobbling on the tree. Do you guys stay silent until you hear something, or do you fire off a call? Do you do an owl?
I try to match the woods. 'Cause a lot of the,
so if it's quiet, you're quiet.
if I can help it. I mean,
Sure.
it's hard to hunt one if you don't know it exists. So
Yep.
anything that can get it to gobble. But yeah, a lot of times if I walk out, and this starts before I even get to the woods, is making note of the birds I'll hear. If I don't hear a whippoorwill in the morning on the way walking in, that lets me kind of gauge the barometric pressure is probably a little lower than it was the day before, and that don't expect to hear a turkey gobble as much. If I don't hear a lot of hens cutting up, I'm not going to be the oddball. If I
Sure.
can help. I'm trying to blend
Yep.
as much as I can, and understand that just because turkeys aren't vocal or I break it down to before I go leave, I'd see what my dog was doing. My dog was walking around. If he's huddled up in a corner, I know kind of that, but starts how my thinking process goes. Right. But turkeys also make sounds, so
Sure.
that's when I revert to scratching, and I always do a fly down without cutting up, going crazy, if they're not vocal. But their wings still make noise whether they feel good or not. Their feet still make noise whether they feel good or not. So I just kind of shift everything to non-vocal sounds and stuff.
Did I hear that correctly? You try to emulate the fly down? Mm-hmm. How do you do that?
With turkey wing.
Yeah, you just carry turkey wings and just
Yeah,
really.
just
Yeah,
old,
just carry one.
nasty, but
Yeah.
I keep it in the back of my vest and try to time it, right. And it's pretty productive if you do it right. Because it depends. Because a lot of times if you and I found this, if you call to a gobbler on the limb, he's gobbling, and you get in there and you start calling back and answering him. Kind of the way nature works, and they're engineered is for that hen to walk to that gobbler before he flies down most times. So he'll stay on that limb.
So they'll be
until
under
the
the tree.
so the hens will go to a gobbler on the limb.
they're supposed to.
That's what they're supposed to do.
right.
By
And,
nature.
So he wants to see it, and then he's
Before
going to
he-
fly down to it.
Right.
So if he doesn't see it, and you're calling to it on the limb,
He may
ain't got
stay up
nothing else
there
to
till
do. He's
11.
gonna wait until you get there, and you can't do that.
and then if it doesn't show up, he's just gone.
Yeah,
He probably won't come to the call.
Either another hen will walk under him, and you're second place now, and second place out of 2 ain't so bad, but second place out of 30.
So how do you call? So you shouldn't call to a
Whew, that's
gobbler on a
hard.
limb.
it's hard to
It's
answer
hard to not
because
do.
I know. I do it all the time.
it's Yeah,
Teach me.
I've sat there till 11:30 before because I called 3 times instead of 2, and I knew it the second my striker left my call. I went, I should not have. That was too many. I mean, I answered him back, and if he answers your tree up twice, a lot of folks, old timers, they say, but throw the call. Don't even, because you're going to want to call because he's going to gobble and make you feel good and chest poke out. You're
feels
like,
amazing.
I got this.
I got this
And you'll
guy.
sit there and you'll go back and forth. Look, now it's 9:30. You're still kind of just doing it over and over again, and he ain't falling down. You're like, what in the world?
Right.
He's waiting on you to walk to him. That's what he's supposed to do. So, a lot of times, and I base it. And
So you call to him twice and then
if he answers you twice,
stop.
that's it.
Be done?
Mhm.
Silence will kill a lot more
Yeah.
of them where we hunt.
Calls
than anything.
build up the purpose, and then but the what pulls them in is usually the silence, which follows the call.
So you gotta build up some sexual tension.
Yeah, literally, yeah. You gotta. I mean,
You gotta get
You gotta
those boys
work it, yeah.
excited.
leave him hanging.
Okay.
And if they don't see a hen, will they just stay in that tree till it's time to eat?
Or
They
until-
can.
Or until another hen, they see another
Right.
hen shows up.
That's where the whole kind of silence factor comes in. Make him have to get down to a seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find
You know.
you.
Come looking for you. I don't kill many turkeys in strut. Walking, pretty. It's not in a pretty scene. It's usually them like looking up over something to see where I might have went to. And one of the books I brought y'all a copy, by the way. There's a whole chapter, and the title is Curiosity versus Persuasion. And I kind of, since I was younger, I've kind of thought of a theory of like you either persuade them to come in or you just kill them with the curiosity aspect. And then in the South, curiosity is a little more common than it is up north, just because of the terrain. I try to position myself, 30 yards max from a barrier that he would have to walk around to look, and then that's when I will, change the scenario, try to get him hot by calling or something like that, or even on the limb, if he is already hot. Once he acknowledges your existence, then that's when you go silent, or you move backwards or move a little bit and just make him make him wonder, which way was she going? Did she
Yeah.
leave at all? Is she
Yeah.
still there?
Yeah.
Is that a new hen? And he'll come around and wherever I sit, I've positioned something between us that he has to walk around, whether it be a ridge he has to walk over,
Yep.
or a creek he's got to walk to, or something like that.
I'm blowing over treetops. something
Yeah,
of
a
that
lot of
nature.
stuff like just
a lot of treetops.
crap in the
is
woods.
What I look for.
So every stock is different, but you try to set up the ambush the same.
Where they've got to maneuver around something
That's in gun
see.
range. Yeah.
Like if there's a really long road and he's kind of at off away from it or whatever, I'm not going to sit in the middle where he can walk up 100 yards away this
And
way
see
and
down
see
there.
down it and solve his
Sure.
curiosity and walk back. So I'm going to get 30 yards from a corner of some kind and make
Yeah.
him have to,
Get-
if that's
get-
unavailable, get in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. And same thing with the field. Instead of sitting on the edge of the field trying to call him to the edge of the woods,
Yeah.
drop back in there 50
Right.
yards and
Yeah.
he'll walk to the edge of the woods.
Sure.
'Cause you can't see in the woods
From the
from
field.
the field
You gotta
without
go
getting to
gotta
the
get
edge of the woods.
and look in
You
there.
can see
Right.
the whole field from 5 yards in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It goes against kind of what you want to do.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. It's almost opposite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So
It's called patience.
When a turkey's hung up, yeah, I know, right? He would not be good at that. We're gonna go right at him.
I got that bone in me too. So yeah.
So when a turkey's hung up, what's your favorite call or method to bring him in? Does it differ per turkey and what that individual
Yeah,
turkey's doing?
a lot of it is what
Less.
not to call.
Less.
Take their temperature and play with that.
Yep.
So Luke does it. Luke, my farm manager, loves turkey hunting.
Really?
Okay.
Like he'll enter some contests and stuff in Kentucky where they go and winner gets like 10, 20 grand where they're a bunch of farms and they've got 3 days to kill two birds or whatever.
Right.
He's done really well, but he doesn't he's with your guys' method. He does not call. He'll wait him out.
And this
Which I'm like, are you a call, Luke?
he's,
What are we doing?
he's that guy. He likes to call more than I do.
I call a lot more than he does, but
He's probably killed birds that I would not have killed.
Right.
No differently than vice versa because of it.
and hunting together, that's kind of been some situations. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
hey,
Get out.
it's not working for you. Hang on, let's swap roles
Sure.
here. Give me the gun, you the camera, or whatever. And
Mouth calls?
I mainly run a mouth call and a wing bone.
What's a wing bone?
So it's literally a wing bone out of a turkey. You
Uh-huh.
take the forearm part, I guess you'd say. It's two
Okay.
bones, and then the shoulder bone and socket. And you cut all the ligaments off, not the ligaments, the
Tendons?
Look at me.
ball part of it, where
Okay.
the joint.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Uh-huh.
Cut them off. The small one goes inside of the medium one. Goes inside of the big one.
Kind of makes
and
a
it kind
pipe.
of
Really?
looks like a little trumpet kind of. I don't know if you ever
And
heard
it
of a
sounds
trumpet
like.
call.
a
I mean, it sounds like a turkey, yeah.
Really?
And it's kind of a new thing. A lot of
I
people
mean, I
new
think the Indians
fad.
used it, so it's not a new thing.
No, yeah, it's an
you
old
guys,
thing,
you
but
guys
it's
make it yourself?
I made mine, yes sir. And
Heard of this?
No, I haven't. Do you have it with you?
I don't. I about threw it in the
Yeah.
truck, but I accidentally left the little
I have
basket that
one
was
either.
in it.
Now, do you blow into it?
You suck into it, so you
Really?
it's like you do like a kissy sound with it right on the edge of your lip, and it pop, pop, pop. I mean, and it's pretty cool.
Sounds really real in the woods.
Right.
Really?
So, It doesn't sound as real if you're sitting right here, but if you walk out there 100 yards,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to pick it off as a person.
Oh yeah. Which I mean, a lot of times your ears are trained to hear turkey sounds as turkey calls because you hear way more turkey calls than you hear turkey sounds.
Right. Yeah.
But if you go out there and listen to hens, they sound really, really bad.
They sound awful.
You know, I mean, they're terrible at calling
Yeah.
you with things.
Right.
So, it all has to do with like how it pops off of the the surroundings and hardwoods and stuff, and like when you hit one of those, I'll attest to this. I don't remember how many years ago it was. I was very near a turkey that I know he couldn't hear because we were somehow communicating, whether it be our text or I think we were on the phone, and I was below the turkey. And this turkey would gobble and gobble and gobble, and I could almost hear when the wind would blow. I could hear him hitting the wing bone. It's very distinct, just like a pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, and then the turkey would gobble, and he had no idea this turkey was answering him. So the turkey could hear it that farther than you could hear a turkey's gobble.
Right.
Sure.
So, and it was gobbling at him. And I could hear the turkey. I'm like, hit it again. And he'd hit it again. That turkey would gobble. I'm like, can you hear the turkey? He's like,
Yeah.
"Mm-mm."
Had no idea he was in the world.
So that turkey could hear it from a long way away.
Yep. And I think you ended up moving around on him and
Tried to.
getting
yeah.
beat. But
Yeah, I don't think I shot him.
How many turkeys can you kill in Mississippi?
Three.
Three.
Yeah.
2 in the spring, 1 in the fall, or does it matter?
I don't think we have a fall season.
I've never played in the fall season. I think there is some in North Mississippi, like a 2-week
might
season
be.
of fall, but I just
Can you bait in Mississippi?
I don't.
you can for deer, I think,
You can.
but it has to be in a feeder because of the aflatoxins.
What's that?
It can mess up turkeys. Apparently, I haven't really dove into the study. It's something like a mold
Yeah,
or something. In lack of
I
better
think
terms,
the deer thing is for CWD.
the
reasons,
CWD
so, yeah.
reasons, yeah. So,
What's your guys' favorite state besides Mississippi to turkey hunt in?
After Mississippi, it's kind of wherever's open.
Right.
I just,
It's-
I just like hunting turkeys.
yeah.
Um,
I don't really have a preference. I mean, I like.
Have you guys hunted
bouncing.
Kentucky?
I've never hunted
I
Kentucky.
did last year.
He did
first
last
time.
year.
It was cool.
Come on up.
Dude, it's
Heck
beautiful.
You guys are more than welcome up to my farm. We
Awesome.
got
Man.
We can
more
make it
turkey
happen.
than we know what to do.
Yeah. We'll show up and go, hey, remember that time?
Honestly, yeah, go up there, film, do whatever you want. We have, we're covered up in turkeys right now.
Heck yeah.
Kentucky's a beautiful place.
Those pictures are unreal.
Yeah, like we have pictures. There's, like, I'm not joking, 150
Really?
fields. Yeah. My farm manager, Luke, he does a lot of trapping. Coyotes, bobcats, raccoons, possums, everything. And like the last 3 years has really changed
Oh, yeah.
changed a lot of dynamic in that farm.
You got
It
to put in
definitely
a little
helps.
work. You put in a little bit, and I'm not a biologist, but like I know if you break it down, the likelihood of a turkey's egg
Making
becoming-
it,
dude, it's
very low.
less than 1%, I think.
Right.
Become
Really?
a
It's like
2-year-old
0.4%.
longbeard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
So
So it's just, I mean, everything's out to get it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like that and quail and everything. Like the eggs aren't anything can kill them.
Yeah.
And
Those
ants
quail,
to-
those quail eggs, ants kill them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
water.
It's, yeah,
I mean,
anything.
it floods and
Yeah.
ants.
Cold.
Yeah.
I
Cold.
mean, there's so many things can happen.
Yep.
Nest predators can wreak havoc though.
And since the fur market's down, nobody traps
No
anymore.
one traps anymore at
Yeah.
all.
And-
You're only trapping if you want to increase your
Right.
deer
It's only
or
for turkeys,
turkey
yeah.
population.
Well, yeah, coyotes and stuff, would help deer and everything else. But, yeah, I run a lot of the dog-proof traps and catch a bunch of raccoons and possums and skunks and all that stuff on our little. We only have 60, 80 acres. We can
Little-
hunt
little
private
less than
land.
80.
Everything else is permission
you-
or public.
So you guys turkey hunting public land?
Mainly,
Mostly.
most of the time we travel, it's all public land. It's all, door knocking kind of thing.
How much public land is in Mississippi?
Not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What to say? It can't be that much.
10% of the land is public. I know that.
Okay, there is a breakdown of it,
Which
I've never looked into
I don't,
it. But
there's 3 or 4 big ones, and then there's a lot of little ones. So it's just a matter of and they could or could not have turkeys. It's not a it's crazy how that it can be identical to something next to it and then have 0 turkeys ever, and that one will always have turkeys for some reason or another.
yeah.
I don't know.
And some of them you can look at and think there wouldn't be a turkey in 100 miles of this place.
That's
It
where
looks
they're
so
at.
terrible. That's where you
Well, I think it's a turkey hunter
sometimes
thing, 'cause
can
a lot-
find them or
you know.
sometimes
You
can't.
guys running into a lot of turkey hunters out there?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Almost daily.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
And they and that's the, I mean, they know what they're doing too. It's kind of, I go to like some states where folks are like recreating. I feel like they're out there,
Right.
and I'm like, okay, that's nice. You go down there, like you wind up in a tight spot real quick.
Yeah.
Messing with somebody's turkeys.
It's-
That's just you know,
What's proper etiquette when you accidentally stroll up on someone turkey hunting? Just back out and go the way you came?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were there first, I would appreciate it if I were in their shoes. If you
Right.
didn't mess it up. I've had it the same, I've had people come from behind me and come around me and mess it up. I've had people do that, and I shoot the turkey.
Right.
It's just kind of one of those things. But yeah, it's unsafe too. And
Yeah.
and I got in 2 tight spots in one day. I was actually up here in Tennessee, not far from here, last year, hunting a turkey and shot. I think this turkey, it comes in. I'm hunting a different turkey, which is not a problem we usually have in a lot of places. But I'm hunting this turkey, and the turkey comes in from behind me. And by the time, like, I hear almost like footsteps, and I'm like, was that drumming? And I turn around, and there's 3 hens coming at me. I'm talking like 10 to 15 steps maybe, and that turkey's strutting right there. He whoops behind a tree right there, maybe 8 to 9 yards, and I'm kind of swinging around trying to shoot, and I like clip this tree and miss. I'm like, oh well. I was planning on shooting this one on the second shot because that was very close. I'm shooting a quarter at it at the first, for the, and then all of a sudden he takes off, and I don't think I fire another shot. But I'm like, what in the world just happened? And some dude's sitting over there, like watching the whole thing. I'm like, what you do? Like, he just stands up. I'm like, you could have just died. Like, thank God I hit the tree, But I'm like, he was like, it's like you knew I was here and still came in and just sat 40 yards
Sat and
behind me,
watched.
hoping I might,
Yeah.
It was his first turkey hunt ever, just kind of strolled in there. And then,
gosh.
wasn't 40 minutes later, I'm sitting there calling, and I'm like on the edge of a road, squatted down, and I think it was the same turkey. Got him fired back up. And this was a little while later, and some older guy and his son come walking down, and I see them recognize us human, and I assume they recognize I'm a human, and they kind of like look at me, and then the son just like raises his gun up, and I'm like, all right, take my mask off. Like, not a turkey.
Yeah.
He puts it back down, and his dad was like, no, I think that is a turkey. Raises it back up. I'm like, dude, I'm standing up now in the middle of the road. Hey, I'm calling to be a hen. Thank you for, saying I sound like a real turkey, but you can't even shoot hens. So first
Right.
off,
What?
or I have arms and legs, but it was back to back to back to back. I'm like, dude, I got to get out of here. This is wild. And this was on a weekday, I think.
I had a gun pulled on me private land hunting one time. I put a buddy's deer camp, and we were walking in the dark right at
Really?
daybreak, and walked up on a guy that was set up in the edge of the road, and which I think we just startled the guy more as of,
Yeah.
because he was signed out for a different block, and he stood up real quick and like for me to you, pulled a gun. I don't know if he knew what we were, or thought we
Yeah.
were trespassers or what, but I mean we had 110%. He knew where we were supposed to be going. He went to the wrong spot. He was in the wrong. By the end of the day, but.
Yeah.
I mean, we were 2 inches away from the end of his gun barrel, and it got hairy real quick. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And it's just people gun happy,
Right.
and you gotta kind of control that.
Right.
So
And you're shooting something that's on the ground, and
I
a lot of times turkeys come up in areas you don't think they are so many times. So if the first flash of something you see, you're attracted to it, and it's a sport. You're trying to emulate a turkey's sound and behavior as much as possible. It's I'm not gonna say understandable, but it can kind of screw with some folks' perceptions sometimes.
Yeah.
So
I've
you gotta be
seen
careful.
people take some wazoo shots, or unsafe, I should say, while pheasant hunting. And it always blows my mind. Like,
Yeah.
walk another 200 yards, no bird's going to get up.
Right.
Just
Right.
Let that one fly away. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
that's one thing I've never done, but
Pheasant hunt?
yeah, I could see how that could get sideways real quick. I could relate that to a rabbit hunting thing, but I'm not gonna get into that one.
Yeah. Chase
I got in a
shot
bind.
rabbit hunting one time.
Yeah, I got shot rabbit hunting one time.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even know
Edge?
how.
12 gauge?
Yep.
Where
About
at?
30 yards.
Really?
Got 1 or 2 pellets still in me. 1 in my forearm, 2 in my shoulder, I think. Got clipped on the side of the head.
How old were you?
This was like 4 years ago. I mean, we were
Yeah.
adults.
Good dude, too.
So how'd you get shot in the head when someone's rabbit hunting?
I think it was thank goodness, some ricochet action.
Yeah.
But at 30 yards, I mean, either way, we were in an S curve of a road. He was in one to shoot down this way, and I was in the one to shoot down this way. And of course, the rabbit cuts between the both of us, which we had plenty of room to run or let the rabbit run another 20 yards and shoot it.
Sure.
I don't think he had been rabbit hunting much, but great guy. You know,
Yeah, if
he
anybody
I don't
would
think
know,
he's
I was
been
like,
hunting
man,
with another person
hope he don't
since.
feel bad.
Honestly, he feels bad.
He shot you.
Yeah, I'm more worried about him. My dude, it happens. We do this all the
Right.
time. We get shot all. You know.
I had to be like, yeah, we're good. Which, I mean, I was fine. I was fine and okay. Just, you know, it scared me a little bit. Was all it was, but it scared him worse. But yeah, just shot the second it came out of the cut over there, and we were in line.
Were you guys using dogs?
Yes, sir. So, I think that would just ramps up the occasion a little bit more, and you don't really think is great, I guess, is what ended up happening. But all was well, you know. Still here, we're all good.
Perfect.
But made for a
So I'm a
story.
novice turkey hunter. What would you say the biggest mistake that novices make is?
The biggest mistake is the intention of going. You try to go in there and kill a turkey instead of going there and learn what turkeys do. If you go in there and learn what turkeys do, you'll kill a lot more turkeys. When you'll ease into that transition way quicker instead of just going out there and try to kill it. And we do. I write books. We do TV shows. We have a podcast too. And we try to teach folks how to turkey hunt or tell folks stories and what they pick up. Let them have it. You know, I'm not saying we're always right on anything. And a lot of our stories are what we did wrong to maybe quicken that process. But that's, I mean, if you just try to go to YouTube and learn how to turkey hunt, you're going to learn how that turkey, which is already dead, died. So you got to go out there, and if you'll go out there and just blank slate, listen to turkeys, see what they do, count how many times they yelp, see what their cadence of scratching is. You know, it's not, they don't go to town when they're scratching. It's always like 4 scratches. There's 1, 2, 3, and they push it over, and learn which ways they walk, and do they walk high, do they walk low? Why won't turkeys walk downhill? They only walk uphill. You learn stuff like that, kind of piece it all together, make it kind of more a cerebral aspect. You'll be able to have a concept of how to go about it more than just A to B kind of stuff. Yeah.
So turkeys don't walk downhill?
Don't like to.
Really?
If they can help it, they will, but they don't like to. I kind of think it's more of their legs bend backwards, and if they see something, they have to turn around, run uphill, and then fly at a parallel angle at which the leg predator could run. And a lot of times they can see downhill a lot easier than they can see uphill. You know, if they're uphill, I can look down there and see whatever you're calling a B, and there's nothing there. I'm not coming down there. If you're uphill, there's always a chance. You know, they have to walk up, and then if there's a threat at the top, they can just turn around and jump, and they're smooth sailing there.
What do you mean when you say they'll do it 3 times and push it over?
Scratch them.
Yeah.
It's like if you'll go and just watch a turkey scratch, it's like, oops, sorry. Got the turkey in too much, but they'll push leaves this way, push this way, pull back, and then they'll push
Flip.
the leaves over, and then they'll eat what's on the bottom of those leaves, that pile of leaves.
Okay.
There's like a cadence to it normally.
Sure.
But if you go in there just like, and I say this because I've done this, not because people are stupid. I'm saying
Right.
like I did this up until like a few years ago. I'll just go to town, scratching leaves and stuff, thinking I was a turkey. I'm like, I sound like a guy brushing leaves with my hands. What I sound
Sure.
like. I don't sound like a turkey at all. So just studying stuff like that and making up, everything's with a purpose, and you can you learn from turkeys way more than learn from people, and you'll excel.
Yeah. And a lot, how to walk like a turkey.
Right.
They're flat-footed, instead of like a deer, which is 4-legged. It's
So
weird.
you guys walk flat-footed through the woods?
Yeah,
A lot of times, yeah.
it might take me an hour to get from here to there, but if I do it the way I want to do it, you can get away with a lot. And then and timing wind and stuff like that. And I don't, if it ain't a shadow there, I ain't walking in it. I mean, you set your own boundaries. Be disciplined in what you do know. That's something that even I have to work on a lot. Is I've kind of accumulated a lot of stuff that I've learned, but I got to be disciplined in doing it. I know not to walk in the shadow. I know not to walk on the side of the road closest to the turkey. He can see your silhouette, as opposed to walking on the opposite side of that road where he can't see your silhouette, and stuff like that. And being disciplined and actually doing what you do find, it'll
I mean,
carry
you guys are gonna kill a turkey at my place in 14 seconds.
You say that, dude. I've been humbled by some of the easiest turkeys in the world, man. And that's what I love about turkey hunting. It'll humble you no matter how much you think you know. You never know it all, and there's always one better than you.
Yep.
So tell us about your books. You've written 2 of them, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And we will be releasing a combo copy of both.
I saw that.
For, when is it? What's today? Well, in a couple of days at the WTF convention. That'll hit Amazon as well the same day. But yeah, the first one, Ballad of a Turkey Hunter, I wrote during a 2-week quarantine in 2020, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. And not necessarily something I always wanted to do. Something I enjoy. I like the literature aspect of turkey hunting. There's, for some reason, there's kind of like an heirloom aspect connected to duck hunting and stuff. Right. And
you guys duck hunt?
He does.
I'll go 3 times a year, maybe. Yeah.
So you guys just kill turkeys?
Yeah,
that's our main thing.
And that's it's kind of like not an identity, but like you're a turkey hunter, you're a hunter that hunts turkeys.
Hunt?
No. If I have to,
just turkeys.
I deer hunt more than he does.
Somebody donate me some deer sausage. I'm good. I'd like to save me some time, dude.
So what you guys do after high school?
I went to Mississippi State University and got a degree in agricultural business, economics, and business administration. Then I went and worked at a grain elevator in Ames, Louisiana, and then realized they ain't got no turkeys down there, and came back February or so, moved back and started hunting turkeys again.
Yep. And I went through diesel school, mechanic school. I was a diesel mechanic for 4 years, got into heavy equipment sales, and stayed in that 4 years, and then kind of bounced around in that a little bit, and kind of now just do this mainly. So mainly just turkey hunting. Because 9 to 5s don't agree with, hey, it's 2 a.m. and I'm headed to Nebraska or something, and didn't plan it at 4 p.m. this afternoon. It's all of a sudden I'm in the truck, kind of thing. So
what about your other book, Any Given Spring Morning?
It was written. I really had no plans to write it. I was one and done kind of deal. It was written in memorial to my son William, who passed away about a week or so after he was born in 2022.
Truly sorry to hear that, man.
Appreciate it. But it was it not without spoiling much. It was a lot of things that I had written in the past that would be available for him if something were to happen to me. Which wasn't the case. It was, the other way around. So wanted to went ahead and publish that same year, about a year or so ago, 2 years maybe, and to put that out there is just a kind of a memorial to him, and it's done well too.
Tips and tricks, essentially, your personal.
It's a lot of different things. It's really just a variety of. There is no. Chapter 1 does not. Go and it's not a linear way to read it through. It doesn't start within the beginning and the end. It's every chapter is a new story, is a new purpose. A lot of findings that I found along the way, some humor and stuff. There's 2 in there. One about Calf Killer, Tennessee, royally humbled me, a turkey there, and then another one, one named Peggy's in Cemeteries. There's also one in the second book about inopportune situations I found myself in while turkey hunting as well. But
how'd you guys come up with the name?
Which one?
Spring
Legion.
Yeah.
It's symmetrical, so the same amount of letters on both sides was a big deal because I'm very meticulous.
All right.
I want the seam of a hat to go right in the middle.
Look good in a hat.
Yep.
Okay.
The domains were available, and then Legion is kind of another thing that's just tied to turkey hunting because of the 10th Legion, written by Colonel Tom Kelly, which is a very influential piece of literature. Obviously, now that I do literature myself on turkey hunting culture. I mean, it breaks it down. It takes it from community into culture, folks who kind of relate to that side of it, which is he 3 of his sentences will outright 3 of my books in a heartbeat. He just has a way with putting it into perspective, and I relate to a lot of it and really appreciate it. And want to make sure that the literature side of turkey hunting kind of goes on. He's about 97 now, I think. So make sure that not everything's just nothing but digital stuff in the end. We'll at least have something to kind of every now and then come out with piece of paper, ink, and hold it in your hand kind of stuff.
So are you guys going to have a booth at NWTF?
As many as they'll let us have, we having them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we got like 3 booths now. We've worked our way up. Our first time we had a random. It was kind of like we're flying standby. We were just kind of like, we're just gonna go up and hopefully somebody doesn't show up. And it was like the first booth as you walk in. It was a corner booth, and they let us have it. And I'm like, dude, this is big time.
Yeah.
And then we just piled a bunch of stuff in there, and folks started visiting it and stuff. And then it's grown and grown from there. So
That's great.
What's up, guys? Sam Mackey here. I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Spartan Forge. Spartan Forge has no doubt made me a more effective and efficient hunter. Spartan Forge was founded by former U.S. Special Operations Intelligence Officer Bill Thompson, who took his 21 years of military experience fighting the global war on terror and applied his learnings to his true love, whitetail hunting. My favorite feature on the Spartan Forge app is the LiDAR for finding draws and funnels. It also has an AI deer movement prediction tool, so you know when and where to go. It has historical wind plots for selecting stand locations, and Cyber Scout for just about anything else I need to know. Spartan Forge, a veteran-owned and operated American mapping and scouting company. Use promo code OUTSIDER20 to save 20% on a premium membership to Spartan Forge. That's OUTSIDER20, OUTSIDER20.
I looked at your guys' website and saw that your guys' camo and everything. Is that your favorite pattern to turkey hunt in?
Oh, yeah.
For Mississippi, I would say. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, bottomland and greenleaf and
Every now and
tree
then
stand
greenleaf,
is
but mostly just bottomland.
the go-to for us. Always have just
It's always worked. So
yeah, since we were little, that's all. You go and pull up a jacket that's this big at my parents' house. It's 90% chance it's going to be bottomland. So
It went away for a little bit.
yeah,
It's back though. In a big way.
in full swing.
Yes.
Yep. And in that stint, I still wore it. I was very adamant about like, I'm not changing it. I'm not going. I'm not doing that. But then it became.
Do you have a go-to read, or do you switch them up every year? You got to wear them out.
Yeah, I do. I lose them more than I wear them out. Honestly, I use a batwing mostly.
Yeah, I'm a ghost cut guy. As far as cut mouth calls go, yeah, I run them out. Ghost cut 99% of the time. Sometimes I'll find a random
I'm
one.
not great at a mouth call.
Yeah.
I'm not scared to admit it either. I use a
Slate.
Is it slate?
Yeah.
What about the
100%
box
slate.
calls? Do you guys
I
ever
use
use
it
those? Really?
I have never carried one. I don't like something that makes noise when I walk around, and it just I find myself breaking them. Yeah,
and
slate
all the friction stuff, like the slades and the box calls and stuff like that. And he uses more like the wing bone, mouth, stuff with his mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
Now the wing bones, you just make those.
And
Do you sell them?
I've debated it before, but
Yeah.
it's just spring's so busy for me. A lot of times I don't have an extra spot in the
kill a lot of
cooler to
turkeys to
keep
make
it,
them.
and all that stuff.
But it's something I can YouTube and figure it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of them on there. There's one video that I watched. Catman is his name. He's from Tennessee. He does
Catman?
Catman. That's his.
I feel like
That's his
Catman
YouTube.
knows how to build a
know
bone call.
That's his YouTube channel, and he has a very good video on how to build a wing bone.
I trust it.
And it worked for me, and
I'm gonna send it to Luke.
it's pretty solid. So
I'm surprised Luke doesn't do that. Yeah.
I don't doubt he's ever heard of it.
Yeah.
I say that he's probably heard of it. But.
and when you're at NWTF in a couple of days or tomorrow or whatever, walk around. There'll be some people selling them.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're normally like a guy with a backpack. And he opens up that backpack to
want
pull
wing
you
bone?
one out, and it's just $100 bills in there that he's made 150 of them, and just throw it in the backpack, get a wing bone, or trumpets, or little things like that. A trumpet's very similar to a wing bone. Same.
What's that?
It's just it's they build it on a lathe like a duck call normally, and it comes to a point, and it's about big as your finger on the end of it, and like the end of a duck call at one end, and then comes down to like a coffee straw at the other end.
Okay.
And sometimes some of these call makers will make 4-piece ones, 3-piece ones, 2-piece ones, all like a little bit of everything, and they just work the same way. It's just not a wing.
Do you guys breast out these turkeys? All right. How are we cooking them?
That was my next question.
I only know how to fry stuff.
Yeah.
But I have started doing them on the Traeger or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Smoking them?
Yeah, it's pretty daggone good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of converted into that. No, I guess that's might be a little healthier, but It's right up there.
Oh,
With
yeah.
some of the, just frying them.
If you're frying them, what's your batter?
So mine is, I fry more than you probably.
probably do.
Yeah. So I put them in beer for 15 minutes.
Okay.
No egg wash, no nothing like that.
Just soak them in beer.
Cut them, soak them.
Okay.
And I don't soak them before that. You know, a
Okay.
lot of people soak them in milk or
Sure.
pickle juice.
Yep.
I don't do any of that.
Smoke them in beer.
15 minutes.
Put 'em in, what kind of beer?
I normally use Busch Light.
Okay.
The crappier beer, the better. I found out.
Lukewarm.
Yeah, you got to have it cold.
Faded
Okay.
can.
Got to be cold.
Uh-huh.
That's after you
Some Busch lattes.
get some Busch Lattes. I have used a Michelob Ultra a time or two, just when I felt fancy. You know?
Someone was coming over, apparently.
So yeah. So let them sit in that for 15 minutes, and then what's the brand? I can't even think of the brand of flour. It's a little yellow and white bag.
Like cornmeal?
I think it's white flour. Is what I like to use. I don't.
Like
I don't
Creole stuff?
It's one of those 1806 founded,
Okay.
old timey looking bag flours is what I like to use. But I heavy season it. Tony's there's a AP rub out there.
Okay.
I heavy season the flour.
Sure.
And then go till they float. And after, I like to dust them with the AP rub.
Uh-huh.
And I've gotten quite a few good compliments on them.
Okay.
That's my ticket.
good.
I like it.
My favorite is however Sam cooked it last spring.
Yeah,
good,
she's got I forget what the it was a pancake.
Instant pancake
It
mix.
was a pancake mix that she
I've heard that.
used.
I've had it before. I've never done it,
Yeah,
but
it was a
good.
pancake mix that she used.
It tastes like Chick-fil-A.
Really?
Delicious.
Yeah, they were really.
I don't think
good.
any birds made it home.
Yeah, I've never tried that before. I might have to get into
Where I
that
was,
this year.
somebody did. I'm like, dude, this is a whole new level. Hold on, something's different. I don't know what it is. And they're like, we did something with pancake batter, and I'm
I
like,
think
dude,
she cubed it and then battered it
Yeah.
and fried it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy as that.
Instant pancake mix, salt and pepper, maybe some garlic salt or something.
Oh, nice, Esther.
Yeah.
It depends a little bit. Depends on the turkey you kill too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
Some out like West, him kind of. Y'all
Really?
ain't got the same diet as a lot of acres and stuff
Right.
around here. Little different tasting. Now up there they'll be really big. You kill a 24-pound turkey, you got a lot to cook. Better adjust your ingredients. But down here, I mean, you're good to kill a 18-pound turkey in Mississippi a lot of times. I mean, they're just they're kind
Oh,
of,
really?
like you'll get a tough one pretty often, but a lot of times they've got a pretty diverse diet from crawfish to bugs to everything you can think of in those swampy areas. And they taste the best to me, but
Yeah,
they're all good.
You can bait in Kentucky, so my turkeys are just they eat corn,
Fattened up,
corn and
Good
protein
and fattened up. Yeah.
all year, and then Kentucky just changed it. I don't know why Kentucky you do stupid shit, but you did it. You can't feed anything from I guess the start of turkey season until August 1st.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. So when all the deer are growing their antlers and
say,
stuff, can't feed them. But then during the season, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
I'm not sure on that one either. Yeah.
It's Kentucky.
Can't find the.
They do shit backwards up there.
Are different species of turkeys different to hunt?
Yes.
Yes.
All
Very
day
much so.
long.
Okay, so Osceolas and Easterns and
Yeah, Osceolas and Easterns are a lot alike.
what would you say like the main differences?
The Miriams and Rios are generally easier to kill. So depending on the bird, but
Yeah, we killed one
They-
in Montana.
Oh, that's right.
It was the dumbest thing.
they
ever. It
kind
was
of
the dumbest bird
they
ever.
just kind of we're like you kind of go out there for confidence boost a lot of times, but sometimes I've been royally humbled by them, and I'm like, and it's because I'm like I got this in my mind that they're supposed to be easier than another turkey. They can still see great and hear great and act like a turkey not with you, but
I killed one in my ranch in Montana with my iPhone as the call.
really, I mean, I don't know if you can do that on like Mississippi Public Land,
Yeah.
We were sitting there, looking for bears, and I can't hear that well. He's like, "Did you just hear a gobble?"
Literally walked up this mountain like this.
It's not pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
And that thing came on a string.
Yeah, I know one thing that is different. And I've only hunted them a few times. Is the way you go about hunting. Actually, is Miriam's and stuff you call to just vigorously. I mean, just over and over and over again, and they almost go to that way more than you would try to do the whole silent deal like you would in Mississippi. You'll almost kind of screw yourself by going silent on them.
Well, I think out there's not as many turkey hunters at all,
Right.
and these things, like if they hear another turkey or a hen,
Could
like
be.
they're like, this is a real
Right.
deal. We're coming.
And I learned Miriam's can cover a lot more ground than the
yes.
ones in Mississippi.
Really?
Like, and you know what I'm used to hunting, grew up hunting, I guess you'd say. Yeah, you change drastically. You drive 25 hours or whatever, and all of a sudden get out and go turkey hunting. You got to kind of reset your whole mind about
these
how to hunt.
These turkeys, like my neighbor, which is, I mean, they're on 10,000 acres. I mean, you're talking 5 miles, probably 6 miles, maybe, maybe more. And they've got a bunch down there, and I think some of them migrated over to my side,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, it's a long way.
It can. And
Oh,
I know Rios would make a big loop. Their daily little routes or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call them. That they
I just
think
don't
is
know. I mean, I don't
huge.
even know how these damn things survive because, I mean, mountain lions, bears, I mean, everything out there
That's a
trying to kill
tough
them.
critter.
It blows me how they get through the winters
Yeah.
and stuff. You know, I
Yeah,
just
that's the most
I don't
surprising
understand
part.
that.
This much snow out there
Right.
now. It's just like, where the hell you guys
Yeah,
go?
where
I mean,
are
they're
they?
having
I
to
have
live
no
in
idea.
trees is all
Yeah.
I could imagine. Like I've never seen.
They don't burrow down in the snow like a pheasant.
They may. I've never seen. I've never been up north when it was snowing.
I
I've
don't
only.
know what the hell they do.
I have no
I only
idea.
travel in the spring. You know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what they eat. I don't know what they do.
there's
They're
no
there
telling.
though.
Yeah.
They figured it out.
They're tough. They're
Which
tough
I got-
little critters.
I got to hunt in the snow, a little bit of snow in New Mexico this
Yeah,
year.
you did.
And they, I mean, they acted like it was a normal spring day.
Yeah.
You know, they gobbled good and you know worked decent. Just a little bit of mess ups from some elks and stuff, and
When
some
he was
hard cards there. But
he was about to shoot that turkey in Montana because we're up on this hilltop looking for bears, and we're listening to this turkey. We finally go down, hop on the side by side, drive off, and he's like, "Yeah, it had to be in this area." So he just lets that call go again, and it was just right up the hill. And he goes up there. I think he had a shotgun. I had a 308,
I had my old
20 gauge 870, right?
yeah 870
Heck yeah.
pump.
That's what I got.
Youth.
yeah, that's what
And
we
Yeah.
hunt
youth,
with.
I have it.
bad.
I have it in the side by side for so we can see grouse from time
Right.
to time.
Right.
And I just bird shot in there, and I was like, "This is the only thing I got." Like, we'll see what happens.
So he goes in, and we walk up this steep embankment, and I just lay right there so I can see over it. Well, he goes a bit farther forward, and he gets behind this like little group of pine trees, and I'm looking for him, and he disappeared on me, but I can hear his call. Then I can see this turkey. I'm like, that turkey's got to be like from me to you, away from him, right? And I'm like, and I'm looking at it through my scope. I'm like, if he doesn't shoot, I know he laid down right there. I'm about to shoot this turkey. Then he pops up, one-handed, reaches out, boom, and just smokes this turkey.
there was like this 8-foot Christmas tree between us. And like I'm up against on the tree, and I can't see him because like there's 2 of them, and they're calling like crazy. I'm like, they gotta be close.
Here you
I'm kind of looking through the tree.
He's asking to put a mic right
I'm looking through the tree, trying to figure this out. And the next thing I know, like I'm on one side of the tree, he's literally on the other side of the tree. And I'm just like, do I just kind of poke it through there and just shoot this thing? And like, he's got to pick a side at some point. So he went to this side, and I literally just reached out and
That's awesome.
So I run up there, and the other turkey is still there, full strut, didn't run off.
Really?
He'll
Yeah.
go off 10 yards and come back. I'm like, Jay, throw me the gun.
out of shells.
He's like, he's
man.
like, I need the gun, but I only brought one shell. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, coming. This thing's just walking around us.
God,
Yeah.
what do you do then? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
bird,
wild.
That's one of the wilder ones I've heard of, I'd say.
I had one in Mississippi at I think 6 steps last season.
Really?
And
But you missed
didn't
him.
know he was there, and I missed him
Yeah.
because yeah,
You try to shoot with 2 hands. That's where you went wrong.
I was shooting him with 2 hands. Maybe I'm gonna try his tactic.
Have you
Next
guys got into bow hunting for turkey?
I have not. No,
It's hard enough.
I just yeah.
With a gun.
I've got enough handicaps. I'm not gonna add another one. So
I would really like to shoot turkey with one of those guillotines.
yeah,
or-
I remember,
guillotines,
I've seen them before.
guillotines, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
the
big
circular
broadheads.
ones or whatever they have.
Krusty's buttermilk pancake mix.
That's it. Noted.
It was delicious.
And
I'll give it a
then some
shot.
Black pepper, Tony's Creole, some garlic salt. Throw all that in,
Shoot.
and it was
Speaking
it
the
was,
language
it was,
there.
it was damn
Heck
good.
yeah.
But the Krusty's pancake,
I'll have to remember
It
that.
tastes like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll try.
It was really. It was.
I'll try
It was
anything.
damn good.
So heck yeah. But
So no interest in bow hunting for turkey?
I have
Probably not.
unless
Unless I have to. If they
Yeah.
outlaw all guns one day, I'll figure out how to do it. Which I used to shoot bows a lot when we were younger. Our granddad was like, he had like 7 degrees and chose to just build traditional and recurve bows for his livelihood
right.
and sell them like at pawn shops and stuff. But
Yeah.
he was just one of those dudes, just kind of like a Ted Nugent meets, you know, just a aviation director of some kind. I don't know what all he could really do. Half the stuff I didn't believe he could really do, and then he's done gone now. But I'd find like at the degree I thought he was lying about. I'm like, he really did do that, you know. But he had us shooting bows when we were younger a lot, and he was fun to hunt with, just not turkey hunting, because he had all kinds of.
Oh yeah.
He was like Czechoslovakian or something. And
Right.
he tried to connect with nature a little too much. And trying to I'm like, dude, we just got to sit and call, man. You know, like, I'm tired of bumping these turkeys. You know, trying to do something that we got to do.
Yeah. He's
but-
out there 40 yards. We don't have to pretend to be an owl
Right.
today. You know, we know where he's at.
We got it.
He's supposed to owl hoot to pretend to be an
Right.
owl.
Your lamb, your rules. We'll do it.
Over there whittling down an
Oh,
arrowhead for us to
Oh, man, they sell these
slay
at the
this
store.
thing.
I want to hunt with him.
Yeah, I know.
He was a character, man.
Very much so.
Is there any turkey hunting overseas?
I know. Well, I don't know if it's like a season
Europe?
or whatever.
You mean
I
like
know
Europe?
folks-
Yeah, just anywhere.
I don't know
Mexico.
about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mexico.
obviously. Yeah, I've
And
heard of
then,
that.
I know folks have gone to New Zealand.
Yeah.
I think it's New Zealand. There's a lot down there.
I've never looked into it, honestly.
I haven't either, but I've just heard folks going overseas. I don't know exactly where. I just know they were.
I'm gonna kill an
countries.
ostrich in Africa this year.
That'll be cool.
My buddy killed one.
I-
Got that thing mounted.
I found a badass mount.
The one he has is his wings are out.
Wings are spread, and then his
Shoulder
head,
mount.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then his head's out.
That's what he has.
Getting one.
Where do you,
Yeah,
where do
wow.
you even shoot an ostrich?
Africa.
Like, no, like in the
on
body.
my body.
Oh, don't know.
I mean, I don't even know. Like a
I wouldn't
turkey.
know.
If
do
I
that.
had to
Guess
guess,
you just let it fly.
they
I mean, they're big.
tell you to
Heck
shoot
yeah,
it
they're big.
center mass with
Yeah.
a rifle.
Like, okay.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to miss that thing if it's coming at me. A turkey
Yeah.
kind of.
But they say I was just talking to the guy today, and he's like their eyes are as big as golf balls, and they can flat out fly.
Yeah.
Really?
He goes, he goes, it's harder than you think.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
What's Dan? What's a ostrich's wingspan? My guess is like 8 foot.
I'm going over 10.
Over 10?
Yeah, I bet it's big.
I'm going to say 6 because it can't fly.
I bet
They're
it's
probably
big.
9 foot tall.
What's that?
About 6.5.
6 and a
wow.
half. All right.
Baby.
But he had it in his house, and it was huge. Like that's a big, big mount.
Yeah.
I mean, 6.5. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
That's a big. That's still a lot of wings.
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna
I've
have?
had-
Are you gonna have his head coming straight up, or is he gonna be like looking sideways?
No,
or?
I think it's gonna come straight. It's gonna be. I mean, they're weird as shit looking. First
Yeah, I
of all, it's gonna be wings out and head just. I think we're thinking ostrich, sable,
Yeah.
kuyu, wildebeest, giraffes on the table, but I don't think I can do it.
I want to kill a giraffe. Katie's like said, my wife. It's like no elephants and no giraffes.
I can't kill an elephant.
and
I don't think.
I could.
I
And
know you could. It does not shock me.
and there was this last time I was in Africa, I saw this massive bull giraffe, and you and I watch videos of guys shooting them, and you shoot them in the head.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just like this whipping motion of them lights out collapsing. And then the cleaning process takes a long time. I mean, of course, there's folks there that do it, but how they
they're
break it down.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple zebras. Samantha wants some zebra rugs.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long list, but they said that I don't know if this is true, so anyone can fact check me on this. But the boys told me that whenever a giraffe gets to a certain age and like they're gonna die, they don't just like lay down and die. They go and pretty much hang themselves in a tree, and then let the predators, lions, and stuff eat them.
Why would you like? The only thing worse is getting.
Giggle that.
Yeah, I was going to say catching yourself on fire, but I think getting eaten slowly by predators is probably the worst death you could have. It's like, what are they, samurais?
That's what they told me. I hope it's a lie, but that's what I was told.
They're trying to sell you a draft tag.
Yeah.
It's pretty morbid.
Very
You
morbid.
don't catch a zebra and ostrich doing that shit. You know what I mean?
I know. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Buffalo. You shot a buffalo, didn't you?
Yep. Cape
Yeah.
buffalo, blue wildebeest, zebra, impala, and a baboon.
We
My
have,
favorite is my zebra rug, and next I want a zebra pedestal.
I have seen one of those.
Yeah,
Before. They were
those
pretty
are
sweet.
beautiful, man. And you can wrap the pedestal in the hide from the back. You know?
Okay. They've got some sables there that are just insanely pretty.
Riley, my cousin, I went over there with him. He got a Cape buffalo, a sable, kudu, impala, and I forget what else. But
This is my list right now.
all right, let's hear it. It's going right out the window when you're there. You know that, right?
Oh, I know. I can. I mean, this is if I get half this done, we're good. Blessed buck. I can't say
Yep.
half these. White blessed buck. Bonte buck. Don't even know what that is. I saw a picture. Caracalla. It's like a. That I'm probably saying it wrong. It's like a.
Are these in the tiny tin?
Sorry,
There's like the big 5, then the tiny 10.
I have no idea.
Okay.
That thing is like a. It's like a lynx of
Okay.
Africa.
Yep.
They run with dogs. Black springbuck, white springbuck, some other springbuck, red hartebeest, sable, fallow. But I guess they're not gonna have. They might be dropping their horns at that point.
Okay.
Black impala, kudu, nala, ostrich, warthog, wildebeest, zebra, baboon.
If you're there, I mean, waterbuck, I think is one of my. It's on top of my list. You should have
Waterbuck?
that. Yeah, they're beautiful.
Okay.
I don't know if they have them, but I assume they do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
But the nalas are beautiful too.
I'm excited with the ostrich.
Yeah.
When are you going?
I'm going July 7th.
Okay. So that's right around the corner.
I know.
Really,
It's
honestly?
coming up fast.
Yeah.
Got a big summer. We're going to Australia too.
Really?
Kids, yeah.
Before or after? July.
Before in June. Yeah, a lot of travel. Hawaii for spring break. I want to come back as one of my kids.
You want to what?
Come back as one of my kids.
Yeah. I might have you adopt me. I've dedicated travel this year just to work. And
He's a hard worker.
gotta keep the lights on. You know what I mean?
I'm dedicated travel to work.
Well, I mean that includes a lot of hunting.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
Yeah.
spring bear, elk.
So you guys are gearing up. You got a month before Mississippi opens.
Yep.
Month and a few days. Yeah.
What are you guys doing to prepare? Scouting.
A little boots
When
on the
we
ground
can.
when we have time. Mainly filling orders. That's
Phil,
what we're doing.
yeah,
So
this is our busy season of business stuff and getting ready for this trade show. Kind of right in the heart of it. This is really the kickoff. So, trying to edit a bunch of hunts we've done the past 2 years that I can't ever seem to get out in time on top of stuff. But when we got time, we'll go put some boots on the ground, stuff like that, and that's about it. You know.
Yeah.
April 12th opens in Kentucky. So
April 12th.
April 12th to May 4th.
bingo.
So you guys are more than welcome to come up,
Heck yeah.
We'll take you up on. I promise you.
film it.
Yeah.
We'll come up and want to learn some stuff from you
Heck
guys.
yeah.
I'd love to see
We
you
can
guys
do it.
work.
Which I
See,
love.
see you guys in action.
What other shows you guys going to besides NWTF?
We do one local
Yeah,
in
we do.
Mississippi every year, and then we'll flirt around with something like Birmingham and stuff like that. But usually it's we put all our eggs in one basket
There you go.
for being up here, and then I don't like them because it's a nightmare, getting inventory and stuff, especially during the whole influx of folks wanting to buy turkey stuff. It's a lot to ingest and digest, but if I can find someone who can run a trade show for me, that'd be awesome. Just a lot to unpack and stuff like that. For,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And being away from the online orders
Yep.
for that period of time. Because, we are a two-man show.
That's really all it is. So
We
it's
just,
not like we got a
some help here and there. And
big old team, really.
right. So we knock out NOTF and then we go
Breathe.
turkey hunting.
Right.
And, whatever
Let it ride
happens,
from
happens.
there until June.
Yeah.
One comes up that we just like, hey, we're free. Let's go. We'll go to them. But we don't do a crazy number of
I
them.
got a place in South Dakota. You guys are more than welcome to go turkey hunting
Really?
as well.
Oh,
out in
heck
the
yeah.
Black Hills.
And I've
but-
never.
Yep.
I've stayed there to hunt a neighboring state, but I've never actually hunted in South Dakota. I don't think.
Same here.
It says the Black Hills. Is that the east or the west side?
West side.
That's the west side.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I've only seen the east side then, and I was like, "This is the Black Hills."
Yep.
That's not, And I was like, "No, this can't be."
The East River and West River, say of the Missouri, splits the state in half.
Okay.
And
Okay.
West River is pretty much the Black Hills.
Okay.
Right. And East River's plains.
I've heard a lot of cool things about it.
Yeah.
That sounded a bucket list, which I think I'm going out to California this year for the first time. I've never hunted out there. Been there, but never hunted. Looking forward to
Northern
that.
California? Whereabouts?
I'm not positive the whereabouts. I think me and my buddy Gary, we're flying into Sacramento.
Yep.
And then it's a driving distance from there within an hour.
Gotcha.
He was playing a show out there, and someone offered him, and he somehow struck a friendship up and said, "Yeah, let's do it." So
Excellent.
I was like,
It'll
"All
be
right."
fun.
So,
Well, Chase, Hunter, appreciate you guys coming on.
Absolutely.
Tell everyone where they can find you.
SpringLegion.com, give you about everything. We're on all social medias at Spring Legion, and pretty active on them if we can be. Then at least on Mars, then everything's taken with a grain of salt from there.
Right.
Perfect.
I was shocked that domain was open.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
What's that?
I'm shocked that domain was open. It's a good one.
$8. Well, that's all.
Man, steal.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks, y'all.
thanks
Thanks,
guys.
Yes, sir. Enjoyed it.
Good luck this week in the convention, and then mid-April.
Yeah. Count on us.
Let's do it.
We'll do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
That'll work.
Got it down.